They tried to bury Ripple. Now Ripple gets to write the rules. To the victor goes the spoils. Now, Wall Street gatekeepers, they're shaken. SEC cornered. For years, we saw this industry. They painted Ripple as the villains. Now their villain is becoming the architect of the future. It's absolutely wild. Let's get into the stories here. Before we do, I didn't realize we have a goal of 5,000 followers, a real DAO and XRP ledger, the Zhao DAO. We want 5,000 followers on X. I've been pushing people over to the email list sign up. If you could help me out here, link down below in the description and the pinned comment. If you could give the Zhao DAO a follow on X, would really help me out big time. We're at about 2,900 followers right now. We got about 10 days to push and see if we can get it up there to that 5,000 mark. They're doing a great job over there at Zhao DAO. Now, we see this Ripple CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, to testify before the U.S. Senate Banking Committee. Listen, in the past, this would have been Joe Lubin or Vitalik. Not anymore. Again, what a huge victory for Ripple. Just set the stage for what we see going on here. This is huge. After years battling the SEC, Garlinghouse is no longer a defender of Ripple. He's helping write the rules for U.S. crypto policy. That is what's happening here. That's what's going on. Now, this is why it matters. Legitimacy, it's been unlocked. Garlinghouse will speak directly to lawmakers shaping crypto legislation. Ripple now seen as a key voice, not an outlier. Before, just Bitcoin, just Ethereum, and all those guys over there. Not any longer. They went from defendant to architect of the future of finance. And we've known this for a long time. They have to accept it now. That's the difference. The man the SEC sued is now testifying in person before Congress this Wednesday. That's a full circle moment. You have to recognize that. Regulatory clarity, not just inside, it's here. It's already happened. Judge Torres, XRP is not a security. There's nowhere else to run here. Laws are being drafted that could finally define the status of crypto in this country. And that's what he's going to talk about. What I care about, which is the infrastructure bill. Yeah, stablecoins, that's a big deal. That's going to push adoption. But infrastructure, that's what gives us protection going forward to go out and build the future. Not having to worry about some scumbag regulator down the road coming back and trying to sue us. Bipartisan support is also real. We're getting a lot of support from both Republicans and Democrats here. They all want in. Of course, money and power is involved. Politicians love that. Optics matter. This is a strategic and symbolic win over the SEC. Ripple CEO is now in the room where it happens. Testimony this Wednesday. Crypto market structure legislation. We got to push that through. We have to strike while the iron's hot. It's so important. Now, we've been talking about Ripple and their application for a banking license. We haven't talked about timeline here. Expected timeline, Ripple's officially applied for a national trust bank charter and a federal master account, which is key. Then the reserves for RLUSD, they're not trusted to a bank. Ripple is the bank. They'll be with the Federal Reserve, essentially making RLUSD and the XRP ledger an extension of the Federal Reserve balance sheet. So important here. This move could radically reshape how RLUSD and XRP settle value. Application's been filed. That's done. Now it's going to be under regulatory review. Industry estimates, approval possible late 2025, early 2026. I'm thinking 18 to 24 months myself because this is novel. It is new. We are incorporating a new technology. It might take a little bit longer, but most people are saying, late 2025, early 26. So we'll see how it plays out. This isn't a standard banking license, a strategic foothold inside the Fed's core system. Ripple is aiming for direct access to real-time settlement rails. So this is the big deal here. A tokenized dollar on the XRP ledger, backed by actual Fed-held reserves. Decentralized rails, the rails of the future, centralized trust, the best of both worlds. This is the future of banking. Best believe. And remember what they said. We're not trying to topple the system. We're trying to incorporate the system into, our next generation of finance. That's what's happening here. Good Morning Crypto telling us Ripple CEO states RLUSD will be used for all services at Hidden Road. So they're really firing on all cylinders. All the moves they're making, they all kind of fit together. You know me. I'll tell you. I'll tell you if I think they're messing up, they're clowning around, they ain't getting it done. Right now, Ripple is getting it done. Ripple stablecoin RLUSD will be accepted as collateral for all services at Hidden Road. RLUSD is the first stablecoin enabling efficient, large-scale, cross-margin trading between virtual assets and traditional markets, 24/7 year-round availability. That's from Brad Garlinghouse. Monica Long, she says within just a few months, we're at $400 million in market cap. We're just getting started. She continued, the next stage of stablecoin adoption is usability, and RLUSD is designed for practical use. A lot of people are worried this is going to replace XRP. Did stablecoins and DeFi and other tokens, did that make Ethereum worth less? No, Ethereum's the number 2 coin in the world, having value, having transactions on the XRP ledger. It ain't going to make XRP worth less. It's going to do the exact opposite. Best believe that. David Schwartz, CTO, Ripple, adding, XRP ledger is a mainnet for finance. In particular, Q2, the EVM sidechain mainnet will launch to further drive the ecosystem, more uses for RLUSD, and more importantly, more uses for XRP, where wrapped XRP is the mainnet or the EVM sidechain, token. It's what you pay for your gas fees, all of that. You have the same token whether you're on the sidechain or the main chain, which is different to most things we see out there. Now, SEC, they issued crypto ETF guidance. This is important. How do we get crypto ETFs to market, get them approved? Before it was like a secret, like we won't tell you. Now they're actually coming out with guidance. For the first time ever, the SEC has released formal guidance for crypto ETPs, a major step towards clearing regulated crypto ETFs in the United States. We have 2, we need a heck of a lot more. Clarity of custody, disclosures, and NAV, streamlined path for ETF approvals, institutional confidence is growing. You're going to see more of these products coming to market. XRP, Sol, Doge, probably next. What's the catch here? It's not the full list of rules. That's not coming out till later this year, but they're making progress. They're doing good work there. No new ETF approvals yet, just frameworks. I think we're getting there. And complex altcoin issues like staking. Well, they're facing delays. They're still thinking about this. And I'm telling you, that's going to be a popular product, and it's going to be one that drives a lot of adoption. People are going to like this. When you have proof of stake chains, you buy that ETF, you get a dividend, it's going to be popular. It's just taking a little bit longer to get there. Vitalik, he's got a new Ethereum proposal, gas limit cap. Now, this sounds good. There's always, with anything in life, a blessing and a curse, of course. We'll take a look at it. He wants to put a hard cap on gas fees, prevent massive transactions from clogging the entire network, reduce the risk of denial of service attacks, encourage modular design. That's the key for most blockchains out there. They're looking to build out in a modular way, and it makes the network more stable and predictable. What's the problem here? Why didn't they already do this? Well, it's going to break a lot of complex smart contracts. You're not going to be able to use those anymore. There's too many things going on. You're going to have to redesign things. You're going to increase dev workload, more transactions, more code. It slows down the UX. Some actions are going to take multiple steps where before you could do them in one shot. It could lead to actually high overall total gas costs. So you do this gas cap to lower the fees, and then you end up with more gas costs. And it pushes activity to layer 2s where tooling and security vary. You're not getting the same experience on every layer 2, every sidechain in the Ethereum blockchain. It's a mixed bag there. And you don't want to push everything off to the layer 2s. Like, you need some transaction on the main chain there. This is all about scaling Ethereum safely, but at the cost of some functionality and some flexibility. So, sometimes you push these types of updates through and you go, maybe we shouldn't have done that. I don't have a real opinion on it. We'll see how it plays out. Pretty smart guys over there, but watch out. You can mess up. Grayscale reporting that DEXs are eating centralized exchanges for lunch. Slowly but surely. This is going to be big for the XRP ledger. Grayscale's latest research shows decentralized exchanges are gaining ground, serious ground, currently accounting for 7.6% of all crypto trading. That's more than double where we were 2 years ago. DEXs are now priced competitively with centralized exchanges. Long tail tokens, stablecoins, and on-chain assets are gravitating to DEXs. And, the more interesting assets we get on the XRP ledger, the more stablecoins, the more of this type of activity you're going to see. Grayscale expects a shakeout. 1 to 2 dominant platforms in each segment will emerge, pairing deep liquidity with capital-efficient models. DEXs, they aren't just alt trading venues anymore. They're building the future rails of finance. It's all about decentralization, decentralized exchanges, where XRP Ledger had the very first. That's going to be a key as we go forward. Lastly, we see Grayscale. They did a shakeup in their top 20. AVAX and Morpho are in, and Lido and Optimism, they're out. This quarter, macro fears like stagflation, stablecoin regulations, they've pushed Bitcoin and Ethereum higher. But under the surface, Grayscale is betting on protocol-specific adoption. So they look at the altcoin space, who's really getting it done, who's seeing traction here. Avalanche, surge in organic activity, possibly linked to gaming, and the rise of stablecoin volume makes AVAX more attractive to them. And it's the one coin I keep saying, I have some AVAX, but probably not enough. I'm going to turn this camera on one of these days and say, oh, I should have had more AVAX. Every time I read an institution, they're looking at all sorts of different technologies, and AVAX is usually at the top of the list. Morpho, it's quietly becoming DeFi's number 2 lending protocol, 4 billion transaction value locked, 100 million in annualized fees. And the ones they removed, Lido, of course, was really popular in its day, but faces stiff competition as regulators open the door to centralized staking. And Optimism, strong tech, but fee revenue is still limited. And Ethereum's roll-up roadmap adds uncertainty. And, there's a time I was all about optimism, and there's just so many different layer 2s and base. There's taking a lot of the transactions, and, there's just too much out there. I wish I didn't have the optimism I have, to be honest with you. Grayscale isn't chasing hype. They're looking for real-world transactions, and I think they're going to like what they see later this year, the XRP Ledger. It's coming quick. You'll see a lot more transactions than we are used to on this blockchain. Let me know what you think down below. Also, go to the link, follow the Zhao DAO. Will help me out a lot. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.